Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. here on the Lakers Report, and Russell Westbrook appears to be heading to Los Angeles as the Lakers have about completed a trade for him. Now, this trade cannot become official until August 6th, but this is what it's going to look like. This comes from Mark Stein. Official completion of the Westbrook to the Lakers trade, like the recent Memphis-New Orleans trade, can't happen before August 6th when the salary cap year begins. As Jake Fisher and others have noted, that gives time for the trade to expand beyond the Lakers in Washington. So this is what the trade looks like right now. Again, Stein just noted, Chase, that more teams and players could get involved, but it sounds like there's a written agreement in place to get Westbrook to L.A., and the Lakers will be shipping out Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and their first-round pick tonight. So the Lakers will be drafting for Washington, it appears, tonight, and this will be the cornerstone of the trade. Your reaction is what?
My reaction is this is a weird fit, but let's break this down in a couple of sectors, right? Because from a storyline standpoint, Russell Westbrook teaming up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis is certainly riveting, and it's great for the NBA. Also, Russell Westbrook is from the LA area, so he gets to go back to his hometown team. He also played college ball alongside Kevin Love at UCLA. So from that standpoint and point of view, this is fun to discuss and talk about. From an on-court stylistic fit, though, Harrison, I think it's weird. Russell Westbrook is certainly a breathtaking player. As an athlete, we've really never seen a player like him in the history of the NBA. Nope. He just overtook Oscar Robertson for the most triple-doubles over the course of NBA history. And when you watch him, you sit back and you say, my goodness, this guy is absolutely special. He is one of one. But late in games, especially in the playoffs, because of his inability to shoot the ball efficiently from the outside, and because he always plays full throttle, 110 miles per hour, he can become somewhat maddening, and it doesn't always translate to winning basketball. Could that change when he teams up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and takes a backseat offensively where he's not forced to chuck up a bunch of shots? Possibly. If that is the case, then I actually like it for Los Angeles, because we know LeBron James as a leader, as one of the best players that we've ever seen, really can have an impact on people and winning when he brings these types of players into his organization. And Harrison, his numbers last year, straight up stupid.
One-word reaction to trading for Russell Westbrook once this is finalized. What do you guys think? What is your one-word reaction? More analysis in a second. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so you can scroll on down, giving your one-word reaction to trading for Westbrook. Now, you mentioned his stats here. Obviously, he's been a stat filler his whole career, Chase. Triple-double machine, most in league history. He is absolutely fantastic at stuffing the stat sheet. But like you said, it hasn't always translated to winning, especially when he's had to be the best player. Here's the difference, though, Chase, and I know stylistically it's weird. You probably could have benefited more from an elite three-point shooter, which Westbrook does not do that. But this will be the first time since he's been in the NBA that not only he's not the best player on his team, he's not the second best player on his team. He is the third best player on this team behind LeBron, behind Anthony Davis. If he gets reined in and focuses on just being a distributor and a guy that gets the basket, rebounds, plays some aggressive defense, I think this could work, and I don't think you're giving up a ton to get him.
And if that's the case, does that help Russell Westbrook? And if it helps Russell Westbrook, that in turn helps the Lakers. Look, if Russ goes out there and he averages, let's say, 15 points per game, 11 rebounds and 11 assists, and makes winning plays and lets LeBron James and Anthony Davis carry the majority of the offensive load, then I really like Russ. But let's be real here. Russ has somewhat of an ego. It was only a couple years ago when he said his best friend is the basketball. He has been unwilling and very stubborn to change the way he plays. That's a big reason why Russell Westbrook has not had much, if any, playoff success in terms of winning series since he parted ways with Kevin Durant and KD went to Golden State. He's only made it out of the first round one time. It was last year in the NBA bubble with the Houston Rockets. Russ, breathtaking player for sure, but also very, very frustrating at the same time. For Washington, though, Harrison, let me ask you this. What do you think about the package they're going to get back in this trade that could become official on August 6th?
Yeah, so obviously we can discuss the players who are heading out. Kyle Kuzma, a young player that, remember this, Chase, They opted to keep him over Brandon Ingram when they traded for Anthony Davis because they felt like he was a better fit. They felt like he was more of a player on the rise. The last couple of years would tell a different story as Ingram has really blossomed with New Orleans and Kuzma has kind of been stuck in neutral. So the Wizards get a decent young player there. We'll see if more consistent minutes and focus on his game can help him take that next step. Obviously, Montrezl Harrell, the fit just didn't work out. I mean, let's just be honest. With the Clippers, he had a creative scoring and assisting guard with Lou Williams playing with him. The Lakers didn't really have that second-team point guard to maximize Montrezl Harrell, so you dish him out. And by the way, we should mention this as well. He opts in to his player option to help facilitate this trade. That was a key component. And then, honestly, probably the biggest piece that you're losing in the short term, because he helped you win a title a couple of years ago, is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. His three-point shooting has been valuable. Now, if you're the Lakers, Chase, you got to find some cheap shooters that can impact this team. Do you bring back a Wesley Matthews who can still knock down some threes and play some defense? I think that's a guy you'll bring back for cheap. But you're going to miss KCP shooting. There's no doubt about that.
I also want to say this. I'm a little iffy on the Russell Westbrook trade because Adrian Wojnarowski reported before all of these Russell Westbrook tweets and rumors came out that the Lakers were close to trading Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell after Harrell opted into his deal for Buddy Hield. And not only is Buddy Hield half the price of Russell Westbrook, making around $20 million instead of $44 plus, I think he feels more of a need for this Lakers roster because he is a floor spacer, one of the best three-point shooters in the league since he came into the league alongside Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Duncan Robinson. I would rather, for roster fit purposes, financial purposes, and overall player, to trade for a guy like Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook. That's where I kind of stand on this trade.
Adrian Wojnarowski adds this just a few minutes ago. Discussions toward a completed deal are largely centered on the draft compensation that would return to the Wizards in the trade, whether the deal includes the 22nd overall pick tonight or perhaps second rounder, sources tell ESPN. So can't say with firm conclusion here whether or not that number 22 overall pick will be the Lakers or the Wizards. I would imagine that Washington is getting that pick.
Yeah, I think you have to include that in the deal because, look, for how much you can knock Russell Westbrook, I will say this. Russell Westbrook has so much more star power, so much more ability, and has the ability to change games dramatically, so much more so than guys like Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP. So if I'm the Washington Wizards, I'm hitting up Rob Pelinka and I'm saying, yo, this deal is not finalized unless we get that first-round pick.
Let us know. Who do you guys think is going to win this trade? The Lakers, the Wizards, type LAL for the Lakers, type WAS for the Washington Wizards. This could be one of those where both teams win, both teams lose, because that is the wild card of Russell Westbrook. So let us know. Get your votes in, Lakers or Wizards, who wins this trade. And hey, we're getting close. 37,000 subscribers, less than 200 away. 36,829. Let's get there tonight. So go ahead and hit that big red button and subscribe. We'll have the latest news and rumors surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. NBA free agency's around the corner. It's going to be a fun offseason. And hey, this is going to be a title contender once again next year, so we'll have coverage throughout the season as well. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. Should mention this as well, Chase. Doesn't appear now, once this Westbrook trade becomes finalized, that Buddy Hield will be in the cards. Obviously, the Lakers don't have the cap space to get both guys.
No, because Buddy Hield this upcoming season is set to make $22.4 million. Russell Westbrook, I think the figure exactly is $44.2. The following season after that, Buddy Hield is due a base salary of $20+ million. Then it goes down to $18 million for the 2023-2024 season. That's why I want to double down on this point that Buddy Hield is half the price of Russell Westbrook. He's, of course, not the player and not the star that Russ is, but in terms of on-court fit, I think he brings more of a need to this Lakers roster as a floor spacer because last year the Lakers simply were not a good or efficient three-point shooting team.
So who would you have rather had? It appears it's going to be Westbrook, but hey, Chase has made it clear he'd rather have Buddy Hield with this Lakers basketball team. Type BH for Buddy Hield, type RW for Russell Westbrook. Let us know in the comments which player would you rather have in LA.